Hello everybody, we're meeting here today about Ultimate Blair moving build. This build exactly working very good in Axion and the other all dungeons you can use everywhere. Even if you want, you can use for bossing also. For reactor first steps, our character fire dimension, that's why we're using burning phase reactor, and for down course, fire skill power and skill cooldown. For external component, for taking skill power here, Slayer set we're using. For Slayer set, for top course you can use max HP and defense. For down course, HP, MP recovery combat, max MP, MP recovery in combat, MP recovery modifier and shield recovery in combat, shield recovery modifier and max shield. You don't need any MP exactly for this character because when you're attacking enemies with your first and third ability and for bossing fourth ability, you can use every time your second ability for taking MP back. That's why you don't need exactly MP collector or something for this one. Then we can continue. For guns, it's no matter which gun you're using, but I prefer using Peacemaker for taking 3 times sprint speed and moving more faster here. For character modules, we're using Death by 1000 cuts because exactly when we're using our first and third ability, this is directly attacking extra for enemies. For example, I'm giving 600,000 damage for enemies and around 150,000 this is also giving damage, and totally if you're looking like that 750,000 damage we can give with our first third ability. We're using killer receive in this build. This red module is changing our skills: first ability, second ability, fourth ability, and also passive. We're taking here also hit rate and hit damage for our skills and also skill power modifier. And for mobbing, we every time using our third ability actually because generally this skill is giving all area more damages. That's why we prefer that one. And emergency measure, frontline, skill concentration, and skill insight we can use for supporting our critical hit rate and hit damage. Focus on fire and focus on dimension with supporting our skill power and also cooldown with this one. MP conversion and nimble fingers, we also supporting our cooldown with this. Skill expansion, we supporting our range, but for Blair, range is not working what you thinking. I'm also show you this one. And last one, spear and shield. We taking here defense and skill power. If you don't understand first step what I mean, for example, if you don't put range for this character, this is also giving the same range for enemies, but for example, if I take out my effect range from here, this is changing because range is the same, just only when attacking enemies, this is going back the other enemies and around is more. Look, for example, you can see this is not making any effect for backs and for around, but giving the same range. But if you putting here range module back, in this time you directly giving around full enemies. Range the same, just going back and around with this one. That's why we exactly need to use one range there, because when you're attacking in the moving full enemies like this, you catching everyone and directly giving so higher damage. We continue. Inversion reinforcements, we're using hunt fourth one for supporting our cooldown and recovery third one. If you want, you can choose also recovery first one for a little bit supporting your HP, because with your second ability you don't have easily MP problem but for guarantee I'm using that one. And for last one, survival second one, for when I'm hitting enemies, incoming damage modifiers full stack is coming 10% making damage or down from enemies for us, and I'm also prefer to using this one. About touch tuning, we're taking a little bit HP here, skill cost, skill power, skill effect range, critical hit damage we taking full. We don't need to take full critical hit rate here also, because around 70% we have critical hit rate and almost every hit is going critical. That's why you don't need to exactly giving here critical hit, and I prefer to taking from here skill power and giving more damage like this. And I'm also taking here skill cooldown. Like that is working very good, guys. Our build is like this. I hope everybody like this build, and also tell me your idea. We're growing together. I'm every time here for helping. See you later for next builds. Bye.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me,